Hello, welcome to Tech Sharmit. In this session, we will discuss about another DB2 SQL function, which is year. So year function is used to fetch year from either from the date or from the timestamp. In our previous session, we discussed about the day function, month function. It also work like in a same manner, but for the years. So whenever we pass any argument to this function, it will fetch out the year part only from that particular date or from the timestamp. Okay. So this is a very important function. Let's say if you are writing any logic where you are going to decide the flow as per the year. Suppose we have one table where we have stored timestamp and date column. Now what we have planned like if the data is registered on year 2023, then we have to do specific task. Otherwise we have to print any error, or we can print any kind of message, right? So in that case what we need to do, like we need to firstly fetch the year from that particular date or timestamp. Once we got the year, then we can easily decide like whether we have to proceed or we have to show the error message, or as per your requirement. Okay. Now question is how we can use this function in SQLRPGLE program. So for that I have written one example. I will explain you that. So what we are doing here, we are declaring one constant variable named as SQL state underscore valid with 5 times 0. Below to this, what we are doing, we are declaring one result variable, zone decimal variable, and this variable we are going to use to validate. Like this variable is mainly used to store the output that we are getting from the year function. Okay, and the constant we are going to use to check whether the query is executed properly or not. Okay. Now below to this, we are setting the commitment control equals to star none. Why? Because let's say if you want to modify anything from the program, in that case it is needed, otherwise you can skip it. Like for this example we are not doing any modification, so if you want you can skip these 3 lines. Okay. Now below to this we are using the main query, which is exec SQL, execute SQL, select year from current timestamp. So what we are doing here, we are fetching the year from the current timestamp. Current timestamp is also a function which will calculate the current timestamp, and then from that timestamp we are fetching the year only, and then we are storing it into host variable result. And this data is coming from sys ibm.sysdummy1. Okay, so this is a system data from where we are getting the current timestamp, and from current timestamp we are fetching the year. So once this query is executed, we are checking if SQL state equals to SQL state underscore valid, we are displaying the result, else we are printing the SQL state, query ended with an error message, and then we are doing INR equals to star on. So let's see what we are getting as an output. Here you can see we are getting output as 2023, which is the year from the current timestamp. Okay. Now we will see how we can use the same thing over the SQL query, DB2 SQL query. So here I have already executed one query. I will show you that query itself. So what I'm doing here, I'm using year function on timestamp column. This is not current timestamp. This is my column from my table. And then I'm fetching the year for the entire row, for the entire column, and also printing the timestamp from table 1. So if I hit enter, you can see it is printing year as 2023, and which is fetched from this timestamp. Okay, so if you remember in our previous sessions we discussed about the function which fetched this portion, day, then month, and now we are discussing about year. Okay, like these column values are null, that's why it is not showing any year. If there is any valid timestamp, then it will for sure it will show the year from that. Okay, but for the example purpose I just keep 3 records here so that we can easily understand. All right, now same thing you can also do over the current date. So if I show you this, this is my column name, current date is my column name. So from here we are fetching the year. So this was the date, and from here we are getting output as 2023. Although for all date year is 23, that's why it is showing 2023. And if I show you the actual table column, then it is like this, table 1 F4 F4. So yeah, ID, current date, current time, and timestamp. If I hit enter, you can see. So from this, firstly we saw this portion from where we are fetching the year, which is 2023, and then we saw the example of the query where we are fetching the year from this column, current date column. So timestamp and current date is the column name, not the function. In our program, we were using the current timestamp function. So I hope it is clear to all of you. And like you can use these three functions wherever it is required: day, month, and year, as per your conditions and as per your requirement. So yeah, I hope it is clear to all of you. In the next session we will discuss few more things. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.